Well, it's a bunch of miscellaneous this evening in the kitchen. We've got peppers. This is not a pepper. Peppers, zucchini. I've got some tomatoes in here I need to put up. I harvested sassafras leaves when we were at the kitchen. I need to get those dehydrated. I'm cooking dinner, and I just got done doing dishes and picking up the house because, oh, it can get out from underneath you so fast during this time of the year. So I just thought I'd take you guys along and show you a couple ways that I'm going to be very quickly putting up this food and what I plan on doing with it. So I need to grab my grater and we'll just chit chat while I put up some of my harvest. Oh, and I have this. Come see. So first off, let us chit chat about what we're having for dinner. I just have a box of 3 cheese tortellini. Picked this up when I had company all in town just for some quick and easy meals, and we didn't end up using it. So I'm gonna dump this in the pot. Won't take long to boil. Then I just have a jar of my plain tomato sauce. We'll just have a light, easy meal tonight. Well, this is cooking. Todd just walked in and he got me something. Because I'm going to be making, I just got in the mail my vanilla beans, and I'm 2 months late getting started on making my vanilla extract. So I will show you guys that too. So we got just all kinds of miscellaneous stuff going on in here today. And we'll see what we can do about making a video and talking to you while I'm doing it. Okay, I just have some basil and oregano. This cooked together very super fast, and we will eat it with some Parmesan cheese, and that is our dinner tonight. Maybe I'll get fancy and slice some fresh cherry tomatoes and put them in there. It'll probably be good. Oh, look yummy. Just so fresh. Just let this sit and warm through, and then we will toss with some Parmesan.
Thank you.
It's actually really rare that I cook him dinner.
I'm usually the cook.
Yes. So I'm very subpar compared to him.
It looks tasty.
So this is Rachel alla fresca tortellini.
Okay.
Fresh basil, oregano, cherry tomatoes, some banana peppers, and our sauce. We'll see if it's any good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was a hard day at work.
It was. And every day I come down and I see all this, and I'm like, I've got to get to it. Hand me that bag. So this is all the sassafras leaves I was telling you guys about that I need to get out of this bag and dehydrate. So, and then Todd's gonna help me chop peppers.
Easy. Tastes good.
Thank you. I think it's really lovely. Oh, and a lot of people often comment on my canning videos or pantry tours, how long will that food last? And my response is always the same. Like, it so depends on your family's eating style and how you cook. So this is just an example. I posted an example the other day on Instagram where we just like literally had like a hamburger patty with cheese and some of our onion jam on it and a slice of tomato. Oh, and we had tater tots.
Oh, we splurged that night, yeah.
So, in like this recipe, I didn't even use a half of a jar of sauce. And so we eat really super light in this house. Like, I mean, if we eat heavy meals, it's not often. So our food really stretches very far for us. But like if you're one of those people that really likes, and what I tell people, if you like cooking like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you have a protein and a vegetable and a carb every single meal, you're going to need more food than we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we seems like we've been scaling down. Instead of having like a meat, a vegetable, and a carb or a potato, we're kind of scaled back to just now two. We'll do meat and a vegetable, or meat and a potato, and definitely smaller portions too.
Yeah, definitely. As we get older, you have to watch your waist a little bit more.
And there's bees everywhere out there. There's bees right there by the back door. There's 3 of them on the front porch. They're still trying to get me, I think.
Oh. Hold on, he'll tell you that story. Got anything in my teeth? Clean Plate Club. It was really good. I liked it. And I am telling you guys, I started to tell you and the camera shut off, that I'm doing my zucchini like I told you guys I would never do it. And that is, this year anyway, freezing it. Because I like canned zucchini for the convenience and not taking up my freezer space. But this is just temporary. Whoops. Because I am going to use this up as soon as I have enough tomatoes again to do my salsa and spaghetti sauce. So I'm just taking out the pulp, seedy part out of the center so that I don't want seeds in my sauces and salsa. But if you were using, I'll tell you my perspective anyway, when I use these big zucchinis to make bread and stuff with, I don't worry de-seeding them. So I guess it's preference. So I learned this from my grandmother. Eat small dinners or eat healthy so you can enjoy dessert. So I'm having some zucchini bread topped with some zucchini bread jam. You guys can't see me. For my dessert. And I just finished grating all my zucchini. I probably have 3/4 of a gallon size bag. And Todd said he did not want to work at the dinner table, so he's about to come over here and join me. This seriously causes problems. Me being so short and him being so tall to frame in the camera.
I always get my head cut off. I'm going to bring you guys down.
Try it. Try it.
That's good.
I know. Okay, now you can talk.
Oh. I'm going to bring you guys down here close really quick anyways. I'm going to show you guys how I was taught in the restaurant world to chop green peppers.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do it this way. And I was like, what are you doing?
All right, so you have your green pepper. Oh, there we go. Start by putting your knife right on the side, the edge of where the stem comes out, and basically cut down at an angle. So you're starting from the top side down to the center. And then this side doesn't have any top to it. And this plucks out really easy. You can pull the white part out really easy. So there's that. And then on this side, if you put your thumb kind of right here and you stick these 2 fingers in, that top part will pop out just as easy. And pull some of this white meat out. And when they're like this and they're like all like humped up and round, they're kind of a pain to cut. So just smash them. They're getting chopped up anyways, so it doesn't really matter. what Rachel was saying earlier about my bee story from last night. I went out last night, and I don't know when it was. It's getting dark so much earlier than I expected to. Maybe 7 o'clock or something. I went out last night and I brought the camera and I was going to do a mite treatment on my bees and film the process so I can share it with you guys how I'm doing it this year. It went terrible. The neighbor was mowing their grass. The stupid jets from the airport kept flying overhead. My phone was ringing. My text messages were going off. And I couldn't speak for the life of me. I literally was on like take number 11 of starting over from scratch because there was so much I wanted to cover and I wanted it so short of a video. It was a mess. Next thing I know, I finally said, you know what? This isn't happening tonight. I need to get this job done. So I put the camera away and I got out my equipment to do my mite treatment. And it went terrible. I have one hive right now that is so protective over their honey. They swarmed me so bad. At one point I think I had full suit on, gloves, everything. At one point I felt like there was 60 bees just stuck to my head, to my veil. 3 of them got inside my suit somehow, stung me on the shoulder. I finally got done. I hopped on the 4-wheeler and came all the way to the barn where I keep my bee suit. They were still all over me. I had like 50 bees on me still. And I ended up riding our 4-wheeler up and down the road a couple times to get all the bees off of me.
He came in and told me this story, guys, and
she laughed at me.
Similar to him getting stung in the fire, I just started cracking up laughing. I'm like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. The way he told this story, it was so funny. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Dropping stuff everywhere.
So you're mad at yourself and you're mad at the bees.
Yeah. The caps wouldn't stand my vaporizer properly, and so I'm doing all of this basically almost in pitch dark with a full bee suit on, a respirator because you can't breathe in that oxalic acid stuff, with gloves on. It was a mess. So that was going to be our video for tomorrow or something.
Tomorrow.
I'm going to have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys about the sassafras and how I use it, and maybe a couple warnings about using it too. Sassafras is a very, very heirloom, highly used in our history as a country, and I don't know if other countries, native plant. And we have tons of it at the cabin, just tons and tons of sassafras trees. So the old version of root beer was called sarsaparilla, and sarsaparilla was made from, I believe, the roots of the sassafras tree, maybe the bark too. It's stated sassafras was used in history for lots of herbal treatments, teas, as well as for thickeners and soups and stews. And that's how I grew up using sassafras in the form of gumbo filet powder. So filet is sassafras leaves ground up. That's what I'm making. I'm almost out of my filet powder, and when I learned what filet powder was, I'm like, I can make all that myself and just harvest the leaves up at the cabin. So in doing so, let me tell you how you identify sassafras. It's one of the easiest trees in my mind to identify because it's so unique. Number one, it usually grows kind of squirrely, its branches, but its leaves, it has 3 unique leaves. One looks like this, a 3-lobed leaf. One is plain, just a solid lobe leaf, and the other one's like a little glove. So, and that's the only 3 types of leaves it grows, all different shapes and sizes. As they mature, you know, they get bigger. So it's super easy to identify a sassafras tree. But when we were up there this fall, we had never seen them fruit before. And sure enough, sassafras trees fruit, and they get these little berries on them. And Todd's like, yeah, that's not a sassafras. It's got berries on it. I'm like, oh yes it is. Look at its leaves. So he Googled it real quick just to make sure we were grabbing the right thing. And what he found, and this is my warning to you, so just do your own research is all I'm gonna say, is that at some point in time, somebody determined that sassafras causes liver damage in high consumption, I suppose. They tested it on rats. So they forced like removing it from things, right?
Yeah, they haven't made root beer with sassafras in over 30 years.
Right.
The government will not allow them to.
That's the FDA for you. No, I'm just kidding. But I will tell you, I am 45 years old and I have been consuming sassafras in the form of filet powder my entire life, and my liver's just fine. Now, I don't consume it in high quantities. You take filet and you add 1 or, I don't know, it's really up to you. I don't know if there's a quantity. It says half a teaspoon to gumbo while cooking. To each serving. So I tell you, I probably use more than that. I usually take a big old spoon and dump it in my bowl. But that's what I'm making. So I know I plan on gifting a jar to my sister for Christmas, and I'll keep some for myself. So now we are going to move on. Todd goes through these peppers so fast. I have one more project to do tonight, and that's my vanilla. Okay, making your own homemade vanilla extract is probably the most rewarding thing if you're a baker. And it takes a long time to proof or to, do its thing and get all that yumminess out. So I really should have started this process in July, so it was ready for holiday baking season. But what I've got here is just cheap old vodka. Don't invest in anything expensive. You don't need that. And I have 10 whole Madagascar vanilla beans. That's going to give you your best vanilla. And then I just take the vanilla beans and I slice them open down the center. So I kind of just, I can demonstrate it for you. So it's just kind of, oh, there you are, kind of opened in the middle. And then I'm going to drop it in my jar. And then I'm going to set this jar deep back in my pantry where it doesn't get exposed to any light. And it's going to sit there until I need it. And if you guys hang on for a second, I'll show you the jar that I made last year. And we'll see if we can't show how much is left and kind of what it looks like. And it has been the best thing to have. If you buy real vanilla extract, it can be quite pricey. And this is a great way to make your own. And this is a super fun gift to give at Christmas. Even if you're getting a late start on it, just put a little note card on it to let it steep a couple more months. And I think it'll be so appreciated. So that's it. And then I just put the lid on. You can see all the beans in there. And every now and then I might go in and give it a little shake and just help it out. But other than that, it'll stay here until my last bottle runs out. So this is my current bottle. Let's see if we hold it up to the light. Yep, you can see, I think maybe right here is how much I have left. The beans I still leave in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. And every time I use it, I just give it a little shake. I'm gonna pour some in a little white bowl so you can see the color of it. Come on down here. Yep, just a beautiful, lovely vanilla. And it's absolutely divine, delicious, tastes just like vanilla. Of course it does. It is vanilla extract. But I've enjoyed having it so much. And I do keep it in my amber bottle, so when that one is done, I'll top this one off. And we just do this process like once a year. I'm sure if you were a super big baker, which I'm not, I mean, I do really big baking rounds at Thanksgiving and Christmas. But other than that, maybe once a month or so, I'm using my vanilla. So you can really make this last as long as you need, or you might know for the way that you bake, you need probably to make a couple batches. Alrighty, I just turned on the dehydrator, about 95 degrees, and I've set it for 24 hours. I'll check it before or when I wake up in the morning and adjust the time if I need to. But this is an average, not an average, I mean, no day looks the same in this house, I should say. That's
why no video is the same in this house. You might get one thing one day and something another day, because we're always doing something different.
Yeah.
And we don't do things just to film.
Yeah.
Whatever we're doing, we film, so thus the variety.
Yeah, so today was just a lot of ketchup, miscellaneous, things need to be put up, processed, and that is what we did. So vanilla's made, zucchini shredded, another gallon bag of peppers we'll end up with for the freezer. And those are just quick toss and go in meals. We use them all the time. Breakfast, Todd runs down there barehanded and grabs a handful of peppers out and comes back up and throws them in our breakfast. And
sometimes when it's a big frozen chunk, you need to just slam it on the cement floor in the basement like you do with a bag of ice to break them up, and then you can just grab a handful and go.
That's our way here. All right, guys. Hope you're having a great day and a great week, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Now give me the beat.